When was the last time kindness broke your heart? I was working night shifts at the hospital when an old man shuffled in, clutching his chest. His wife trailed behind him, holding a worn leather purse and shaking with fear. Tony and Ruth were both in their 70s, and they looked completely lost. Ruth grabbed my hand at the desk. Please help him. He's never sick. He hates doctors. I had to beg him to come. Her weathered fingers trembled as she filled out forms. I noticed she was wearing mismatched shoes. The doctors diagnosed Tony with severe heart failure. He needed immediate surgery, but they had no insurance. Ruth broke down, explaining they'd lost everything caring for their disabled grandson after their daughter died. They lived on Social Security in a tiny apartment. I couldn't watch them suffer. I knew about a program that helped seniors with medical bills. I spent my breaks filling out applications, making calls, gathering documents. Ruth would bring me homemade sandwiches, saying it was all she could offer. The hospital approved their application, but Tony's condition worsened. Soon he needed 24/7 care. Ruth couldn't drive, so I'd pick her up before my shifts. She'd sit by his bed for hours, holding his hand and telling stories about their 50 years together. One night, I found Ruth sleeping in the waiting room. She'd missed the last bus home. When I offered her a ride, she started crying. Their electricity had been cut off. She was too ashamed to tell Tony. She'd been showering at a neighbor's house and eating crackers to save money for bus fare. I brought her to my apartment that night. She tried to refuse, but I insisted. Over microwaved soup, she showed me photos of their life before. A small house with a garden, family barbecues, camping trips in their old van. We weren't rich, she said, but we were happy. Ruth moved in temporarily. I'd come home to find she'd cleaned the whole apartment, folded my laundry, left containers of homemade stew. She tried to give me her wedding ring as payment. I refused, but she slipped $5 bills into my coat pockets when I wasn't looking. Tony stabilized enough for bypass surgery. The morning of the operation, Ruth ironed her best dress and put on lipstick. She kissed Tony before they wheeled him away. "See you soon, my love," she whispered. He squeezed her hand 3 times, their secret code for "I love you." The surgery seemed successful. Tony was cracking jokes by evening, planning their next anniversary. Ruth glowed with relief, but at 3 a.m. his heart stopped. Despite our best efforts, we couldn't save him. Ruth went silent when I told her. She sat beside Tony's body for hours, softly humming their wedding song. When she finally stood to leave, she hugged me tight and slipped something in my pocket, Tony's gold wedding band. "He'd want you to have it," she said. "You gave us precious time together. That's worth more than gold." I tried returning it the next day, but Ruth had disappeared. Her neighbor said she'd packed a small bag and left before dawn. The apartment manager found a note saying she'd gone to live with her sister in Florida.